Joining me now, Ronald Reagan's son, political commentator Michael Reagan. Michael, with the midterms less than 2 weeks away, actually now what? 6 days away, is that what our nation needs? Someone like your dad to stand before us and actually stand for something?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's what the nation is, waiting for. They're waiting for a cheerleader for America, someone who can describe to them the choices that, in fact, they have, where they are now, where they can be. But one of the problems is that, my father gave that speech 50 years ago, and the other day I was at Pepperdine. We played it at Pepperdine for the students there. And, they were amazed by it because of how we talk about those same issues today. But this generation that's growing up never knew who Ronald Reagan was. They think what they have today is the best it gets. They don't know that it can be better. And so it's going to take someone rising above all of the chatter that's out there and really leading and having a message of inclusion, not a message of exclusion.
MSNBC's Perry Bacon called the midterm elections coming up, quote, a campaign about nothing, and others have taken that cue, calling it the Seinfeld election. The Washington Post argues that most of these campaigns have been about gaffes, almost like observing media. You have the situation in Iowa, Bruce Braley, the report that he threatened to sue his neighbor over runaway chickens, that personal pratfall overtaking important policy issues. What has trivialized our politics, in your opinion?
Too much media. I mean, you've got both parties fearful of saying anything. You've got the Republicans, in many cases, fearful of stating where they stand on a lot of issues because they do fear cable and talk radio. Same thing with the left. They fear MSNBC and what have you. So they really couch what they're going to say. It's interesting. I tweeted here a few weeks ago at Reagan World Twitter account, and I said, if I was running for office, one of the things I would say is, this is not a do-nothing Congress. We have passed 400 pieces of legislation that sit at the desk of Harry Reid. We have 40 jobs bills that we passed sit at the desk of Harry Reid. It's not a do-nothing Congress, it's a do-nothing Harry Reid. Let's replace Harry Reid and keep the Congress of the United States. They need really some kind of a message that is out there, and I think that's why you see things tightening up in these last few days before the election, because nobody knows what it's about.
About 30 seconds remain for your assessment on this. It's devolved into a game of gotcha. How do we overcome this game of gotcha in the media?
We're not going to, because it gets ratings. When did you turn on the media and find good news? You always find bad news because it gathers ratings. So gotcha media plays TMZ. I mean, look at TMZ, the ratings they get from gotcha. That's the game that we play today. That's why you need really some strong leader who really stands up. The other night, Governor Rick Perry spoke at my father's library. People should listen to that speech. It is the best speech I have heard in a long time as far as messaging. Good speech, and we need more of that.
Well, we appreciate your thoughts, and as a matter of fact, we're not playing gotcha, Michael, but we're sure glad we've gotcha for the next segment as we come back and talk more about some issues in the news and how your dad might be reacting were he still in the Oval Office. More with Michael Reagan and more of America's Forum follows this time out on Newsmax TV.